Hey guys, welcome back to your women's gear review channel, and today we are giving you our top 7 best waterproof backpacks. I did a full review on the water resistant backpacks that I rounded up, which you can go over and check out on the channel, and I will leave it in the description below. But today we are focusing on backpacks that claim / are waterproof. Now, definitely when I think about waterproof, I do think completely about submersing it into water. But I think it's super important to note that some bags aren't completely waterproof, and what I mean by that is that their accents such as the seatbelt material or the back mesh aren't going to be waterproof in comparison to the kind of outer water experience of the bag and those zips as well. The idea today and what we are kind of looking at specifically is looking at how well a bag can deal with the heavy rain and how well it can do in protecting your belongings. Now, for the water weather resistance video, I just did a short splash of the water on the backpacks to see how they could kind of handle that, and I had a few products inside. I will say, living in the UK, it's super unpredictable as to what kind of weather you will get, so that depends on where you are and what kind of experiences you are having with the rain or where you're planning on traveling to. And I'm assuming if you're coming on to this review, you are looking for a really good water weather protective backpack, so hopefully we can give you a good overview on that. As mentioned with the water resistance review, we did splash some water on for this one. I'm going to keep it on a timer for roughly about 5 to 10 minutes because, you know, don't really want to be wasting all my water, but I do want to be able to show you a bit too. But I'm going to put in a hoodie and a laptop in there, and then we'll do the test and then run through what kind of thoughts we have with that. But basically for this review, it's just going to be the focus on how that bag holds up under longer pressures of water. Obviously that's going to depend on where you are and how much pressure the water is. This is just going to be an overview of that. Something to note as well is the full in-depth reviews to each bag will be over in the channel, so we're not covering the features or anything like that. So it's mainly just focusing on, is this bike going to be good enough for you getting caught in an absolute torrentious downpour, and how well that's going to work out for you. So first up we have the Osprey Downburst 24. This is a classic hiking style bag that can endure most rugged adventures. This is the women's version and it is priced around £275. So the kind of main thing you want to be looking out for obviously is the materials and what that kind of means and how that's going to perform. So for this one we've got the IPX5 waterproof main compartment and a quick dry external material. So that means just with the main body being 100% recycled polyester, it means the quick dry kind of external materials, you're getting loads of water on this, you're not having to wait days for it to dry, it's going to dry fairly quickly. So what does the IPX material mean? This is where it can handle water jets, a low pressure spray from any direction. That's more than just splashes of rain, somewhat of like a forceful kind of downpour. So that's what you kind of want to know. You can obviously get different like IPX such and such, so just depending on what you're after. If you're getting caught in long low pressured kind of rain, then this is a great option. If you're thinking, oh, I would love like a complete submersion for a bag, after doing some research you would need the, I believe, IPX7. For this you've got construction that includes RF wheeled seams, and TPU lamination would help prevent the kind of water seeping through the fabric and the seams. Also got that roll top closure as well, so just ensuring that extra protection against your belongings, and it does well for wind, kind of any rain direction. It's a great one if you are looking for a hiking bag that's still stylish and is going to keep your valuables dry. The only thing that I will say the moment to be careful of is if you do have anything in your little compartment here where you are drying off clothes and stuff, they're probably just going to get wet again. But this pocket is obviously a bit more exposed, so just being careful of that. But let's go ahead and do the test. Let's close that. I'm going to put this light hoodie in so we can see if anything drips. This dries fairly easy, like nice enough. Obviously you're gonna get, if you open it immediately, you're gonna get your speckles of water kind of coming in, so I'd advise just waiting a minute. In terms of like the seam here, a slight bit of rain in there. And I want to be transparent as possible. Can you see? It's not, that's a big lie. It's a reflection. Oh my god, I was like, this is not even working. It's absolutely grand. For the laptop compartment, if you can see like little drips here, that's from me opening it. And these little drips here, I don't know if you'll be able to see them, are from the back, because that's kind of, if you can see my finger here, that's transparent. Transparent, is that the word? Who knows? I'll show you the laptop. My hands are wet. Okay, that's grand. I can see though, I don't know if you can see, in the inside here is soaked. So whilst we've got that layer and we've got another one, this bit here is soaked, but I don't know if that's because here isn't as great. Just something to be aware of. I would probably pad your laptop up if you have in there. Yeah, we're grand in there. The only thing was a speck of water just got in that hoodie from me opening up, if you can see. But otherwise, dry as a whistle. And then you've got that compartment. Obviously, that's your wet compartment. So just being aware of that, and it dries fairly easy. So next up we have one of my favorites for everyday kind of use. If you're looking for a backpack to use for city life, you want to make sure your belongings are safe because you don't know what kind of weather you're going to get, especially in the UK. As mentioned, it's quite unpredictable, so you might be living somewhere where it is exactly the same. This is the Everyday Carry Backpack 15 litre. I don't know if I mentioned that. And this is priced at £115. Their website states waterproof materials, and this is what it says over on their website. So that's what they state, waterproof. The body of the bag is made from waterproof materials. The seams have waterproof binding, and they use water resistant zips, 900D recycled PET. Over on their website, they give a great breakdown of their materials, and you can kind of see on the bag itself, the moments that might just take a little bit longer to dry are going to be your mesh and your seatbelt materials throughout the bag, but hopefully because this is on your back, you're going to be absolutely grand. If you prefer another style, you can opt for their roll tops. Most of their bags are the same kind of style of material with that waterproof material that they've stated over on their website. They definitely know what it's like for the rain and all the seasons in one day. They are a London-based brand, so they get it. So unlike the Osprey one, where we have the definition of the IPX and then a number, so we know how kind of it'll deal with water pressure and things, we can assume that this will do well for a shower kind of downpour, heavy rain but not fully submersive. So it's not going to be one of those ones that can be placed underwater for long periods of time. Because we're not looking at fully submersive backpacks here, there might be one in here that we can kind of give a good shout out to. But for this one, it's going to work well for everyday kind of use. If you're on your bike, you're trying to get out of a heavy rainstorm, but you know you've got all your valuables in there and you're worried about them, you don't need to be worried about them because it can kind of protect them for, I would say, up to about 30 minutes or so, maybe even longer, just depending. But hopefully in that space of time you're home or you're at your destination and you can look in your bag with peace of mind. But saying that, let's go ahead and do the test. You're hoping that you have your backpack on your back so it's coming straight down, and it'll depend on the pressure of the rain. So obviously this is a forceful pressure, so it'll hold up differently when it's lighter, obviously. So let's see the verdict. You've got your top ground pocket. Those seem to be actually grand. Like, obviously if you're opening it while it's still soaked, then you're gonna get dribbles of rain, so that is to be expected. How did our laptop get on? Absolutely fantastic. Be careful of my wet hands is the only thing that you'll kind of see. I only plopped this under for 5 minutes of pressure because the shower is actually quite like heavy pressure, and yeah, I don't think it would do well with that kind of pressure for long periods of time. Maybe just a light drizzle. The hoodie is absolutely grand. I definitely say my verdict on this is for a moderate kind of pressure of rain. you're going to be absolutely grand for the pressure that the shower gives, which is a really high pressure, I feel anyways. Yeah, it's not going to be fantastic for that kind of pressure, but like drizzles and all that, obviously you've got your little seatbelt materials. It'll just take a bit longer to dry, but as you can see, fairly quickly it's kind of drying that water off fairly nicely. So next up we have the Maverick & Co Vista waterproof backpack. Now in the title it says waterproof, so it's very interesting. Obviously you've got moments that are just going to take a bit longer to dry, but you essentially want to know, is it keeping my valuables 100% safe? This is priced at £185. It's sleek, it's sexy, it offers great protection for that everyday kind of use. As you can see, it's quite businessy looking, absolutely adore. So we have the body material, which is a high performance vegan leather, and the lining is 100% recycled polyester. It's kind of hard to judge if I was just to give you information like they have over on their website, so it's really essentially putting it to the test and then have a wee combo about it after. So for the Maverick & Co, the laptop compartment is in the main compartment. There is a gap here, if you can see, so just being careful of that, but that flap should cover that. Now this states waterproof over on their website, so I'm gonna give this a good go for a couple of minutes. We'll set the timer again, switch up the angles. Let's do 5 minutes because it's quite a high pressure. I'll leave it over, obviously, because I'm talking to you now. I know, and I understand the shower's not on, but I'll leave it over. We'll see. Very high pressure. Say there's a wind. Okay, fairly quickly you can kind of see that water just drifting off. So you got your flap here. In here soaked. So, don't know if you can see that in that front pocket. So make sure you have no valuables in there. In terms of your inside, that's absolutely grand. That's dry. And our laptop is fine. Interesting. Can you see? In here is soaked. Like on the sides, look at that. And that's around your laptop. And that heavy rain. So, something to definitely be careful of if that's around your laptop. That is a high pressure, don't get me wrong with that shower, but if you're claiming to be waterproof, right? Next up we have one of my all-time favorites, which is the Tortuga Travel Backpack 40 Litre Pro. Unfortunately, I'm really hoping sooner or later they do deliver to the UK and Europe. At the minute it is US customers and maybe a bit further afield, but for the price it's around $350 US, and I'm hoping that they're going to expand their shipping because they would do amazingly here in the UK, Scotland, Ireland. Their products would be rolling off the shelf. So we did see with this Stubble Co backpack that that's great for colder, wetter weathers, but it's not going to be amazing for scorching hot weather. So that is something to consider because this will do well for both. This is actually their older version. I've had this for a couple of years now. They've since updated it to even better materials. So they've got the sailcloth still, the Eco Pack. EXPX, it's strong, light and waterproof. It's durable. It's got the fabric that is made from 100% recycled polyester. They use EPX. I've got dyslexia, so I keep saying EPX 200 for their travel backpacks. They do a great, fantastic job over on their website breaking down all their materials and what you get with your backpack. So I definitely recommend going over and checking that out if you are more interested in what they use and how they've kind of developed this amazing waterproof backpack. So they do explain over on their website, they like to highlight how DWR coating is what most brands use for their water resistant bags, but that will eventually wear. But the EPX is laminated and the polyester absorbs 90% less of moisture than the traditional nylon laminates. But let's go ahead and do the test. Trying them out with like different kinds of pressure to see that laptop compartment. Oh, Sorry, a big raindrop just fell on it. That was stupid of me, but otherwise, that's fine. It's just made it so the water might seep in, but that's that. I love this one. Such a reliable one. Next up, we have this bad boy, this Sympl travel backpack. This is priced at £210. This is a really reliable, durable travel backpack with great organisation, and it has amazing build. It is constructed in sustainable and waterproof, 100% recycled 420D Cordura ballistic Recore nylon. So you've just got an overall fantastic bag, and I've had this for a while now, and it's definitely up there with Tortuga in being a great travel backpack. So waterproof versus how it holds up in the real rain can be pretty different. Looking closely at its materials, I lean towards saying that the Sympl travel backpack here isn't fully waterproof under all conditions, more so very good water resistance rather than immersive into that water. So keeping in mind when we're speaking of waterproof, I know there might be a few people like, it's not fully submersive. I'm not saying that it is. What I'm trying to get here is that for longer periods of time in comparison to a water resistant bike, how long is this going to hold up, and how well is it going to hold up for longer rain, longer rainy days? I would definitely say it is a great option in comparison to the basic kind of water resistant bikes that you get, because it's really good overall in keeping everything safe. I would say this is a really good solid backpack. Sorry, this is where I interrupt and just say, if you do happen to have a wee gander on the website of the products we are reviewing, then we would be so grateful if you could use our links below. This is no extra cost to you, and it just helps us as a team and growing our channel. What's that? Oh, you would like me to introduce you to the team so you can see who you're helping out? No bother, let's go. First up, we have our editor, Orla, our outreach manager, Orla. Oh, there is our script writer, she's shy. She's called Orla. Then we have this sexy lady for thumbnails. The main star of our reviews is the reviewer herself, Orla. And last but not least, the woman who does it all. Her name is kind of like Lorla, but it's Orla. So don't forget to click that first link to purchase your item. Let's see how this gets on. Timer is set. Different pressures, we'll try it. Just be careful when you're opening it. That hoodie is fine. I wanted to splash on that laptop just in case the wind changed and we needed to know. Our laptop is very safe in there. So it's got a lovely fleece-like material in there, so the laptop doesn't actually want to come out. That is fine. Another reliable one. So next up we have the Neo Backpack from Troubadour. This is priced at £179. This is new from Troubadour, and it does have the fluoro carbon-free waterproof coat in. The Neo Backpack is highly water resistant, probably among the better urban travel laptop backpacks for wet weather. But it's not going to be one of those ones that, again, is going to cope really well during longer 30-minute periods of rain, but it's going to do a good job in comparison to other backpacks for that weather resistance and the waterproofing kind of style and materials. The only thing that worries me about this one is the laptop compartment. While we are covered by a coat, or by a flap should I say, different angles of rain isn't going to be the best. This is probably the lower end in comparison to the rest of the bikes, but still a great stylish kind of option. But sure, let's go ahead and do the wee test. Okay, I'm scared about putting this in for freaking 8 minutes, so it's not going to be 8 minutes for this one. I'm already worried about it. The front coat is opened as well. Like, this front pocket's opened. The only pocket that's really safe is this one. Because look at that flap, it's already soaked, but it's not feeding in yet, but over a period of time it would. Look at that, definitely would. So that's just something to know. If you're gonna say waterproof materials, it's important to note that it doesn't mean waterproof zips. I would put you under water resistant upon reflection. This is okay, but after a period of time, no. I didn't even got to about 2 minutes and I was already worried about it. For waterproof I'd say the materials, the outer materials, obviously you can see everything's grand. This zip is stunning, great, but these ones that are just covered by the flap, it's not gonna hold up great for to be classified as a waterproof bag, for me anyways, because water resistance, yes, light drizzle, absolutely grand. You're running for shelter, you'd be fine, because you've got a little bit of protection, but over long periods of time with heavy rain, no. And last but very much not least, we have the Ground Truth Dry Roll Top from their Unda collection. This is the 25 litre. You've got it priced around £215, but if you want to add in the insert of the tote, you have to add on another £70. Now I've done a full review on this and the tote as well, so if you want a wee bit of organisation in there, then adding the tote is a great deal. Now this one can be fully submersed. It's got everything you need for it to cope well in that kind of condition. So if you're after one, then I highly recommend this one. So you've got recycled nylon for the main body, you've got recycled PET hardware, webbing, and triple layer air mesh, keeping the pack light, breathable, and super duper resilient. So the detailing even matters here. See at the top, you've got the TRU zip. So it just means it's completely different. If you can kind of see, it'll just have a hole where that means it's completely fired off. So you don't have to worry about if you have anything in there. And then you've got your roll top closure as well. And for the rest of the bag, keeping that very much safe. They have some details over on their website as well about their materials, the kind of YKK Naturalong zips that they use, the GTOCOCO zip pillars. So more details if you want to kind of get on that, but let's get cracking on with the wee test. Right, this one I'm definitely going to do a bit longer. Dry as a bone. Bag. And that's the laptop. As you can see, it dries fairly quickly. So a little bit of a verdict, I would say, just to kind of round this up a bit. After doing the tests and things, like look at this Maverick & Co one. How it dries so quickly in comparison. Like, the Stubble Co's done really well as well. The rest of them, obviously, these aren't seeing as much light as this one, but this, although I would definitely say the Maverick & Co one did struggle a bit with a lot of pressure. For light drizzle, absolutely grand, but it's dried really nicely. The Osprey one has dried really nicely. Stubble Co as well. The Sympl one, Tortuga is fantastic. The only one I would be slightly worried about in heavy downpour, like that pressure of that shower, is the Troubadour one, and the Ground Truth one is fantastic as well. But yeah, do let me know your thoughts below, what bags you like and all that. Definitely intrigued to know. So that is the end of our review. We hope you enjoyed, and if you did, then why not consider joining the channel and hitting that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.